Got a lot of garbage rappers out here running around like these ain't supposed to be rapping, son. You know what I mean? This game is meant for a select circle of select few, man. Everybody's not for everybody, man. Just don't think you could just start rapping and man. Like, stop it, man. I'm tired of it, man.
Let me be clear. Jay-Z makes excellent music. I really liked a lot of his stuff. But this was not about his music, and it had nothing to do with jealousy or envy. This was about the man behind all that, Sean Carter, aka Bozo the Clown.
The beef between Jay-Z and Prodigy from Mobb Deep is one for the history books. And if you haven't heard of it, here's what you need to know. It kicked off in the late 90s when Prodigy took shots at Jay-Z in interviews, accusing him of not being real enough for the streets. Jay-Z, not one to back down, fired back, and like you guessed, it got wild pretty fast.
I think Prodigy at one time was, one of the best rappers in the game. I don't know about ever, but I mean, in the game, at one point he was definitely...
He was up there.
He was close to being the best rapper. For a period of time, he was close to being the best rapper in the game.
Yeah. In the mid to late 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, his appearances were crazy. The I Shot You appearances and all that different was retarded.
That I Shot You verse?
Listen.
Yo, that I Shot You verse.
By the time that happened, I really think a lot of dudes either retired or started getting writers.
Yeah.
One of his songs on his album, he was like, oh, and cough up along where I'm from, Marcy, son, with a plastic cup in the football jerseys like us and shook ones.
Or the next rhyme I write might be about you, son, they shook. Where I'm from, Marcy, son, ain't nothing but many places, but I'm Brooklyn's home.
He had a line in there that said, I'm from the place where you and your mans hung out in every verse of your rhyme, you know what I mean?
You and your mans hung in every verse in your rhyme.
So I used to listen to that like, who the f you talking about, son? Because ain't nobody ever rhyme about Marcy before except for me, you know what I'm saying? I said that in the song called, I think it was Trife Life or something like that on the Infamous album. I said jetted through Marcy because D's ain't bagging me, you know what I'm saying?
Jetted through Marcy because D's ain't bagging me.
So I was the only said that. So he was talking about me, you know what I'm saying? He was taking shots at us. He said, I'm from a place where you and your little mans hung out in every verse of your rhyme, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what he trying to say, you know what I'm saying? He taking little jabs at and shit. Told Nas, like, yo, son, you need to go at this. He taking too many shots. He biting down, you know what I'm saying? Like, this son.
$1 billion ambition.
Pledge allegiance to my infamous flag. Tag and bag, we're coming at my familiar. This ain't the rock. We ain't them.
To me, if you following, if you copying, that means you gotta keep up. That means I'm ahead of you, you know what I'm saying? You gotta keep up with me, you know what I'm saying? So it's all good. He in the back, you know what I mean? So
around the time when Queensbridge had the rap game on lock and the QB Finest album just dropped.
Your lifestyle's written, so who you supposed to be? Play your position.
I need to make a song going that Jay-Z and biting our style, son, and he got his little mans rapping about you know what I mean? That's when Men's Bleak was saying like your life was written, so it's a bunch of bull trying to go at Nas, you know what I mean? So I was like, yo, that, we need to go at them, son. Don't try to go at you. Anybody in our style shooting his videos in the hood with plastic cups, with football jerseys, they trying to look like us, son. They biting our style, son. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, it ain't really nothing, son. Like, I ain't going at, he ain't nobody to go at like that.
Oh,
Right after that is when I said I did the little article in Source Magazine about Jay-Z. Yeah. And I said the where he said, the little Snoop line, and how, New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. And
it's like New York's been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. I'm trying to restore the feelings.
Like, hold up, how does don't say that? I was like, he a for saying that, because wasn't nowhere around. How the speak on the shit 4 years later? You know what I mean? Like 3 years later after the fact, you ain't had nothing to say back then. Like, shut your mouth, you know what I mean? Mind your business, I ain't got nothing to do with you, you know what I'm saying? So basically, Jay took that comment, and his little revenge was taking a picture of me from my grandmother's dance school back in the days when I was like 9 years old.
When I was pushing weight back in '88, you was a ballerina. I got the pictures, I seen you.
How old was you in that picture?
I was 9 years old. It was 1983.
I love Prodigy. He's one of the few people that wrote me, sent me a book, everything when I was locked up. But he was on the record. So it's this big argument because he's on the record and he's dissing Jay-Z on the record.
Ooh. You knew this? No, I did not know this.
Like, he's talking about, I'ma shoot up your Continental T, and like, the verse was fire. So, you know me, I'm like, yeah, put it out, drop it, let's go. Like, I'm with all the smoke. And like, they kept it official, they kept it Brooklyn. Like, nah, he not doing that, not on our record.
Right, that's
like,
real.
if you wanna, and I get it, like, then I was young and I understand, but now I understand that, like, if you put out a record and you put somebody on your record and me and you supposed to be cool and you let them diss me on your record.
Prodigy later sat down in an interview and really broke down his thoughts on what led him to call out Jay-Z in that infamous magazine interview.
Why do you think Jay-Z has become so popular? And what do you think that he said about you that you could have been possibly the greatest hip-hop artist of all time?
What makes Jay-Z popular, number one, what made him who he is today, is that Jay-Z is really no different from Mobb Deep. Jay-Z talks about what's going on in his projects, what goes on in his whole borough of Brooklyn on a street level. From drug dealing to shootings to everything that basically what we talk about. But the difference is with Jay is that he's more along the lines of the drugs, of the drug dealers. And the drug dealers, they're about that money. They're about making money, staying away from trouble. It's bad for business for a drug dealer to have shootouts. You know what I mean? That's bad for business. You're not gonna make any money. You're making it hot. Now police is coming. You know what I mean? So that's his whole mentality. He's all about the business, making money and not making it hot with the police. You know what I mean? So you can see his progression from that as he merged into the whole business world, the corporate world. It's the same mentality as the drug dealer. You know what I mean? He try to stay away from the negativity and the nonsense so he can make his money. And his lyrics is still the same. He just carries himself more with class, and he knows how to attract that audience where that's where the money's at. That's what he does, and that's good. That's a good thing. That's what he chooses to do. That's his flavor. That's his style, and that's what's up.
And what do you think? What he said about you that you could have possibly been the greatest hip hop artist of all time?
I think the possible part is a little jab. You know what I mean? But yeah. I took that as a compliment when he said that, actually. You know what I mean? I agree with the little jab, because, I would have did the same thing. I'd have punched him in his ribs and gave him a hug at the same time also. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what that was. He punched me in my ribs and hugged me. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's cool, man. I took it as a compliment. The thing that me and Jay-Z went through, it was a little discrepancies and some things that he said that I didn't like about the whole East Coast, West Coast drama. That's where that comes from. Jay-Z has said some things about it. And I just felt I didn't agree with it because he really wasn't around at that time when it happened. We were the ones that had our lives on the line. We were risking our life, you know what I mean? We were still doing shows in California after people got killed, you know what I mean? And we were involved with that whole drama. Like, we damn near started that beef, you know what I mean? So we were still doing concerts, still doing shows, still dealing with California, still dealing with certain things, because we didn't look at it as a coastal beef. We looked at it as a beef between two crews, and we're not gonna ostracize or say forget California. You know what I mean? They running with Pac. Nah, it's not like that. You know, that's not the reality of the situation. Everybody in Cali didn't agree with that. You know, we had a lot of Mobb Deep fans in California still, so we were still going out there doing shows, and I just felt like our life was on the line, you know, and we risked our life for what we believed in. You know what I mean? And for him to come out later on, after everything died down, after everything was over, and for him to say, you know, New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings, which is a line from one of his records. I just felt I took offense to that. You know, I took like what are you talking about? Where was you at when all that went down? You know what I mean? Like, so that's how it started. You know what I mean? And really, it's nothing. You know, it was really nothing. But I felt like I had to say something about that.
The Source put me on the cover, my first magazine cover as a solo artist. In the interview, the writer, Shaheem Reed, asked about my problem with Jay-Z, referencing an online interview in which they asked if I liked Jay-Z. No, he's a boy. He talking and don't live it, I said. I elaborated for the Source. Jay-Z has a quote in his song, Money Cash Hoes, where he claims, New York been soft ever since Snoop came through and crushed the buildings. I'm trying to restore the feelings. But Jay was nowhere to be found when that drama popped off between Mobb Deep, Dog Pound, Tupac, and Biggie. That was our little personal beef, not a coastal war. Jay-Z ain't had to say when it was on, and he was getting dissed. Him and Nas. Mobb Deep and Biggie were the only ones from New York active in that situation. So Jay-Z is a for making that quote in his lyrics. Yeah, it was on now.
All of these then led to the famous Summer Jam incident in 2001. This was when Jay-Z revealed his song The Takeover to the world, and it would also be the first time he would perform the diss song. Everyone knows The Takeover as Jay's diss track against Nas, but the other rappers who were mentioned on this song was Mobb Deep, especially Prodigy. In fact, Jay also put a picture of Prodigy as a kid on the screen, where he was dressed as Michael Jackson. These pictures were from when P used to dance in his grandmother's dance school and were used to mock him in front of the entire audience.
I don't care if you Mobb Deep, I hold triggers the crew. You little I got money stacks bigger than you. When I was pushing weight back in 88, you was the ballerina. I got the picture, I seen you.
The beef between Prodigy and Jay-Z had the entire hip-hop community talking, and numerous other celebrities chimed in with their thoughts on the drama.
Pete, rest in peace, Prodigy. I always looked at them as the illest group ever. Shout out to Havoc. I always looked at them like they're a pure, hardcore, like everything about them, the way they were, the way you saw it, the way they looked, the crew they was with, just it was a lot of wildness. It was but P had a real cool demeanor. He's very intelligent, and his talent is crazy. And I thought that in the beginning there was always them putting them against us, against me. So in subtle ways in the hip hop press back then, or they would write things about them and compare them to me a little bit. And I don't think Prodigy liked it because he's his own voice. And at the time, his crew and my guys, we was from the same neighborhood, but they was going to war. And that probably added to the tension. They were in the streets while we were making it off into music. And you know, they was going to war. So, we never got around that much to squashing all the beefs all the time. In the hood, they would go at it. Out of town, we was all together. And when we in the city, when the club, everybody got each other back. Back in the projects, it's back to doing what they do. And we would, especially myself, I just happy to get off the block and just in the nick of time. So we had that QB on our back, and Prodigy is a super saluted general representing QB, but there was tensions along the way because regular rap tensions. And I never wanted no issues with Mobb Deep. I never had issues with Mobb Deep. Havoc, I was in kindergarten.
Now this is where things get really intriguing. The discovery of a letter that Prodigy wrote to Jay-Z adds another layer of complexity to their beef.
Tuesday, 1 a.m. in my cell at Mid-State Corrections. My first moment of clarity. The exact moment in time when I discovered that the entire planet was being lied to and was put under a spell to keep us unaware of it was back in 1996, around the time Biggie got locked up for the Tech 9 in his house. Biggie was in the newspaper that day with handcuffs on, being led by 2 or 3 cops. He had on a sweater with a big letter B on the front. It was that day that I was reading one of Dr. Malachi Z. York's books. Can't remember which one. I believe it was titled Leviathan 666. I finished the book and started crying. I was crying for all of humanity, but mostly for my black people. Cause I then realized it was all a sham. The government, religions, politics, the Federal Reserve, IRS, and everything that we believe and live by is a joke. This one book didn't make me see it all. No. It was the combination of other things I've read, studied, seen, and experienced. Leviathan 666 just helped me connect all of the dots to make me see it's all real. Dr. York has since been set up by the FBI and Illuminati players and is now serving 135 years in a federal prison. His own son, Jacob York, who was deep into the rap business back in '96, orchestrated the entire setup. Africa Bambaataa and Prodigy are the only 2 famous rappers who speak for Dr. York and know he's innocent. Jay-Z and Jaz-O were both raised in their teenage years in Dr. York's New Wabian community in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Look at the Jaz-O Originators video and you'll see them holding up Dr. York's pictures, wearing his garb, flashing his symbols. Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chose sides with evil in order to be accepted in the corporate world. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community and the world and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead. I'm revealing some astonishing information if people would just do a little research and see. Prodigy, Dr. York, and Africa Bambaataa are the truth. Jay-Z is a goddamn lie. I have so much fire in my heart that I will relentlessly attack Jay-Z, Illuminati, every other evil that exists until my lights are put out, which is damn near impossible because my power in the streets is incredible. I fear nothing and no one. I'm fearless because the truth has set me free from the Illuminati, mental enslavement, and I've been empowered by God and the universe.
In a later interview, Prodigy opened up about how he eventually met Jay-Z in person, and the two actually called a truce. After all the years of tension and public beef, they both recognized that it was time to put it behind them.
So G's in the crowd at Summer Jam, and he calls me. He's like, yo, son, remember that picture that you showed me? He was like, yeah, I told you that was gonna come to haunt you one day. So we cracking up on the phone. Me and G just dying laughing like, oh, this is so funny. He put the picture up, word. It was just funny. It was funny to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, people thought I was hurt. Like, your average person like your average person that's in the crowd or that don't know me or, you know what I'm saying, don't know about our lifestyle, like, they're like, oh, Jay got him, oh, like, he destroyed P. Like these people don't know. They listening to what Jay said on the song. You was a ballerina, I got the I seen you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the picture that he put up, there's not even a ballerina picture. You know what I'm saying?
What was that picture from?
It was a picture from my grandmother's catalog program. It's her show program. You know how you go like to the circus, you get the program, or you get the playbill at the Broadway play. So my grandma would do these concerts every year, and she would have a program at every concert of all the students. And you know the students would pay to be in the program. You pay like $50, $100 a page or something like that. So, you know, parents would pay for their kids to have a few pages in the program. So, you know, me, that's my grandmother. So I'm in the program, you know what I mean? I was in the program maybe I think twice or 3 times, you know what I mean, when I was younger, because I used to be in the dance school and taking classes and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I took ballet, I took tap, I took jazz, African, all that shit. That's what my family does. My grandma was very famous.
And isn't your mother was part of what group was she?
She was in the Crystals.
Yeah, and
you come from too many popping people, and your grandfather founded Morehouse.
And my great grandfather.
Like you got a lot.
College?
Yes, like his family tree got a lot of fruit on it. It's good. It got like all types of things.
Matter of fact, if you make that
Very
album
fruitful.
with those songs, put me in that will, please. I need that.
You say you only got 2 children?
Yeah, I got 2 kids.
We about to,
that he knows of. But.
yeah, we about to add some more.
No. Oh, really?
Clank, clank, ha, ha.
Yeah. No, but
look though, like I was saying, you know, your average person, they're running around, they don't really know what's going on with me. They don't really know, you know, my personal life. So they think that, oh, this dude destroyed P's career. Not knowing that, I'm finding it funny. It's hilarious to me. Like it's really funny what he did. That was a good one. Like, you know how you and your man just giggling on each other,
right?
And he snap on you crazy hard, and you gotta laugh at it because it's just funny.
Yeah.
Like, so that was just funny to me. You know what I'm saying? That was a good one.
Did you get a chance to fully speak with him, and ever since then?
Yeah, we spoke about it. Like,
did he give you the laugh?
Back then I had the mentality like it was funny. It was funny, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna see you though. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, that was funny, ha ha ha. But I'm running around with 300 with guns, and we in every club, and we're gonna see you, and we're gonna hurt you, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
didn't you go to a restaurant that he was at or something?
Yeah, it was like a few what was it, New Year's or something? That winter after Summer Jam, we had went to hang out at Justin's one night. And it was like me and 10, 15 of my boys, whatever, we just chilling or whatever. But, you know, we hear the DJ say, yo, shout out to Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri in the house. So we was in this club, you know, it's Justin's, so we was in there for like an hour already. We ain't see no Jay-Z and nobody in there, so now we looking at each other like,
where they at though?
You heard that song? He just said Jay in the club. So now we like, yes, I'm tightening my belt. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm tying my shoes up super tight. My man got the gun on him. He like, yo, I'm gonna pop this. So I'm like, yo, chill. I'm like, do not shoot in this motherfucker club. I had to tell my man, chill. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, chill. Do not shoot in this club, dog. Chill. We can just beat this up. Chill, son. He's like, no, pop this son. That. I'm like, yo, chill, man, chill. So we waiting for we like, all right, let's just surround the front door. So we surrounded the front door. So if you come in and out, you have to walk through us.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So we just stood there and waited. Because we ain't see him no in the club. So we stood there and waited. Finally, they came out the back. And we see, you know, Jermaine Dupri walking. We see Jay walking. Jermaine Dupri sees me, and he starts moving fast. He got up out of there quick. He left that.
He
you know what I'm saying?
Jumped.
Jay seen me from across the room. He put his hand out from across the room. He got his hand out already. Like he's all the way down there. And he got his hand out like this, walking up to me.
Man, like a businessman.
Right. Just to show me like, there's a white flag.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
So I see him do that. So I'm like, what's up? He like, yo, it's just rap music, son. It's just hip hop. Ain't no beef, yo. I'm like, I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, I just wish you would have talked to me before you said what you said. I was like, all right, it is what it is, my like, but there ain't no beef though. I'm like, all right, cool. And he left. And my was mad as hell at me. Cause when Jay said that to me, he made everything change in my brain. I'm like, he right. You know what I'm saying? And like, he was right. It's just, he's like, it's just rap music, man. There ain't no beef, man. I was like, you know what, you right. All right, cool.
You were part of one of the most well-known rap beefs ever, right? And certainly one of the biggest battle tracks, right? The Takeover. How did you get past that? First of all, when you first heard the Takeover, when you first had Jay-Z coming at you, coming at having, how did you respond to that?
I was laughing. I was in the car dying laughing, like, wow, he came back? All right, cool. And it sounded dope.
He came hard too. Yeah. Ballerina, Summer Jam screens.
Yeah, it was a Michael Jackson picture, not no ballerina picture.
No, but I'm saying the ballerina line, I should say, right?
Yeah, right, the ballerina line, yeah, but you know, I was laughing when I first heard it. I was like, oh, okay, he finally came back, because I was going at him for a minute.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to respond. So then I was sitting in the car one day and I heard that song. I was like, oh, he came back good too.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Did you ever talk about it?
Me and Jay? Yeah, we spoke about it like right after, like the winter after Summer Jam, I had seen Jay and Justin and we had a conversation, a brief conversation, you know, and he was just like, yo, it ain't no beef, it's just music, like, you know what I'm saying? And I thought about it when he said that, I was like, yeah, you're right.
Well, that's
you
cool.
Know what I'm saying?
Now with Nas, it seemed like it was a little more personal.
I mean, with Nas, yeah, I can't even say why he did what he did. Like, you know, try to go at me on songs. That was kind of weird, because I never had a problem with Nas. Always rep for Nas, like all that.
You have no idea what the source of the beef was. By the time it got to Stillmatic and Destroy and Rebuild, I was like, he's going P hard.
I think the circle of people he was around just didn't like me. You know, there's certain people that, like I said, a lot of jealousy. So he was around some people that didn't like me. So that might be the way it came from. But I still love and respect Nas no matter what. Like, he's one of my favorite rappers of all time.
Have you all resolved that beef?
I haven't spoken with Nas in a minute.
So, what do you think? Whose side were you on during this infamous beef? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.